The other thing when it comes to mental accounting is people's understanding of risk and numbers and things like that. We've already said that half the population have got numeracy skills of an 11-year-old, but how does that play out when people are making financial decisions? So the Review of Economic Studies in 2010 did a bit of an experiment, and they found that people fell into three main categories when it came to their understanding of risk and what they would do in a risk-based scenario. So it went like a little bit like this. If I roll a 6, and then I roll again and it's another 6, well, first of all, I expect we'll get a queue of people wanting to come to the casino with me, these sorts of things. But then, hey presto, we roll another 6. The question is, if we've had that experience so far, what's going to happen next? And as I say, they found people fell into three main camps when it came to this sort of experiment. Who thinks it's more we're going to roll another 6? Who thinks the answer would probably be a 6 next time? Who thinks it's less likely to be a 6? Okay, well, let's have a look. These are the three camps that people fell into. The first one was hot hand fallacy, where it basically said, right, I'm obviously lucky now, because my experience so far has been I'd roll it. These aren't, loaded dice or anything like that, incidentally, but I've rolled a 6 3 times, therefore, next time it's probably going to be a 6 again. That has been my experience so far. Either I'm feeling lucky or I understand the investment world, this is called recency bias. That's been my experience thus far. Not quite sure of the reasons behind it, but I expect that's going to happen again, which is fine as long as the reasons for it happening are correct. If they're not, then obviously it's another question. So a greater chance of further success in additional attempts. The second group come into this area of gambler fallacy, and it's this weird application of law of averages, where it says, right, if I rolled a 6 3 times, it must be, when I roll this time, it's less likely to be a 6. So more frequently than normal in the past, less frequently in the future. What's the actual chance of rolling a 6 the next time? 1 in 6, exactly the same as it was before, rebased every time. Past experience has got nothing to do with what's going to happen next. I was listening to a program about Lotto and the National Lottery and these kind of things, and the idea that, well, I will choose numbers that haven't gone on, it doesn't make any difference. The same set of circumstances every single time you rebase it. So you've got that sort of situation. And then the other one is the people that say, well, it might be a 6, so I'll do it anyway. And small probabilities adversely affecting decisions. So people taking financial decisions because of something that might happen. So again, you get the file back. Okay, this is what the client wants to do. Are they really aware of the risk? Have they understood the risk associated with this particular course of action? Yes, it would be great if it works out. But let's have a look at financial resilience, capacity for loss. What if it doesn't work out? Those sorts of things. I've got this bank account. I'm only telling you here this because we're amongst friends. That pays me hardly any interest. But if I keep it to a certain level, prize draw every month. Small probabilities adversely. I should really change the bank account. In fact, when the BBC first started reporting on pension freedoms, they had 3 vox pops. The first one was a guy that was saying, right, good news about the pension freedoms, I'm going to take my pension fund and I'm going to invest in property. Fair enough, if you disinvest it in the right way and tax, maybe there's an argument for that, potentially. Another individual was actually sitting in a classic car and said, I've never been able to afford this before. This is my dream sort of car. I really like one of these. I'm going to use my pension fund because now I can actually afford one of these cars. Right, fine. Then they had somebody to sort of balance the things out. The sensible individual said, people are going to do crazy things with their pension funds now that it's opened up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all mine and buy premium bonds. Small probabilities adversely affecting decisions. There might be some logic behind that. I'm sure somebody's done the calculation in terms of probability and all of those sorts of things. But clearly, people might take risks that they're not really 100% sure about.